Salute discipuli. Today's lesson is also taken from Chapter 8 in Latin for the New Millennium. And in this video, we are going to learn how to use four new ablative functions. So far, you've learned ablative of agent, which is only used with the passive verb, as we'll review. But today you're also going to learn how to use ablative of manner, ablative of means, ablative of separation, and the ablative of place from which, okay? Before we get into that, I just have a review of all the case uses that you know so far. If a noun is in the nominative, you know it can be the subject or the predicate nominative. If it's genitive, it could be possession. Dative is the indirect object. Accusative shows that the noun is either the direct object or the subject of indirect statement. The vocative case shows that this is direct address. And now we have a total of 5 functions for the ablative case. The ablative case is a case that tells you how the verb is functioning or how the verb is occurring, okay? It tells you with whom the action of the verb is happening, or with what, or from where, or by whom, okay? Because of that, it's kind of a catch-all case. It actually has a lot of different functions, and we're going to learn 4 of the most common ones in this video, okay? Just as a little review to remind you of the ablative of personal agent, it is a use of the ablative that requires you to have the preposition ob or a, and it translates by blank, right? And it's only used with passive verbs because it shows you who is doing the action of the passive verb. So if we look at our example sentence here, oracula ab Romanis saepe petuntur, okay? Our ablative noun here is Romanis, okay? And that's telling us who is doing the petuntur, this passive verb, okay? So oracles are often sought by the Romans, okay? The ablative of manner is a little bit different. The ablative of manner is formed sometimes by using the preposition cum plus the ablative, sometimes not. If you do not have an adjective describing the ablative noun in an ablative of manner, then you always use the preposition cum, okay? The ablative of manner translates with blank, and it tells you how something is done, or more specifically, with what sort of abstract quality was something done, okay? So for example, the milites cum fortitudine saepe pugnant, okay? The soldiers often fight cum fortitudine, our ablative of manner here. How do they fight, or with what quality do they fight? They fight cum fortitudine. They fight with courage, okay, with bravery, okay? Now, contrast that with the ablative of means, which is also sometimes called the ablative of instrument. This particular use of the ablative does not ever have a preposition with it. It translates by blank or with blank, and it doesn't tell you the quality, it tells you the physical instrument, the physical thing by which something was done, okay? So if we look at our example sentence here, Roma armis servator, okay? Our ablative noun is armis, and it's telling us physically how Rome was saved, okay? Roma servator, Rome was saved armis, with weapons or by weapons, okay? Not by bravery or some kind of abstract quality. That's ablative of manner. Ablative of means tells us the physical objects that were used to complete the action of the verb. We have 2 more ablative uses to look at. The first one is the ablative of separation. Now, literally, the ablative of separation tells you from which something has been separated, okay? You use it with verbs of freeing or lacking or depriving or defending, right? And This is another ablative use where sometimes you use a preposition like ab or day or xa. Sometimes no preposition. When you have verbs of freeing, lacking, or depriving, you never use a preposition to show ablative of separation. Okay? It translates from something. Okay? And you can have a sentence that has a direct object and an ablative of separation. Now, I have two examples of the ablative of separation here. In the first one, we just have an ablative of separation. In the second one, we have a direct object and an ablative of separation, okay? In the first sentence, Romani liberantur timora, the Romans are freed from fear, okay? In that case, what are they being freed from? What is being separated from the Romans? It's fear, and that's why we have an ablative of separation. In the second example, Romani terram ab hostibus defendant, we have a verb of defending, which means, as you'll notice, we have the preposition ab here. In the first example, libero means to free, so our ablative of separation does not have a preposition with it. But in the second example, we have the verb to defend. The Romans defend the land from what or from whom? Ablative of separation. Ab hostibus, from the enemy. Okay. Our last ablative use is actually a very straightforward one, the ablative of place from which. It literally tells you from where or, from what place something has come or is moving or, is being moved. So it translates with the prepositions ab, a, day, or xa, and depending on which preposition you use, that'll dictate how you translate the ablative of place from which. All three of these prepositions can generally just mean from, but remember that there are some fine differences between ab, a, and day, right? Ab, a means away from, whereas day means down from, and xa means out of. So you do want to use the correct preposition, the right color, perhaps, or the right sort of sense of the preposition you choose. So for example, it shows you from where something moves. So ab insula nunc navigamus. Our ablative noun is insula, and this translates we sail from where? We sail from the island now. Okay, we now sail from the island. So what place do we sail from? The island. That's ablative of place from which. Okay, take good notes. Make sure that you write down actually that review of cases, because it's always good for you to be remembering and rewriting and stimulating your memory for all the other case uses that you've learned, not just the ablative case. And I will see you in class tomorrow. Buon latte.